So this was tweeted today. Our next mega factory will be in Shanghai, capable of producing 10K megapacks per year. This comes a couple of days after the master plan, or a week after the master plan part 3 was released. Now, I'm going to sound very ignorant, but can someone explain to me what exactly is a mega pack? I know it has to do with energy storage, but why is this going to generate, I heard some numbers like an extra $10 billion of revenue for them or something?
I'll take this one, and then
Sure.
Vitaly, if you want to go. So the Megapack is something that Tesla developed with extra batteries that they had after they were doing production on their cars, and they realized that this was actually a really good business model because what happens is with a lot of renewable sources of energy, they're very dependent on the weather. So when the weather is really, blowing, like the wind is really blowing or the sun is really shining, you have a lot of excess energy that's being put out. And then you also have times where electricity is being drawn heavily and other times where it's not being drawn heavily. So it's a very weird economic, very weird imbalance that typically happens. So these things, these mega packs, essentially what they do, they're like a giant battery that sits in the middle of the grid where it can store all the energy during high input times, and then during consumptions discharge that and do it in a very economical way. So you have something called load balancing, and that load balancing ends up being really, like, if you want to transition to renewables, you're going to need to have this to do load balancing. It saves the energy companies a lot of money to do this instead of constantly building more and more factories, because before it's like, okay, I need to make another power plant because my capacity utilization at peak is much higher, so let me keep two plants going at the same time, just to make up the electricity requirements. But then when the power draws down, both of those, they have to idle one of those power plants and chill out. So now you
So,
have
I'm
wasted potential.
can someone explain how this works? How do they make money off of it? How
So
do they get the energy from the mega pack to
I
send
think Chris is making a little bit more convoluted than it is, because the simple thing is Tesla puts basically a mega pack somewhere and buys energy cheap. Okay, puts it into the batteries. Just imagine buying energy at like 3 cents a kilowatt, putting it into the batteries. All of a sudden, you get peak time at whenever 5, 6 o'clock. Everybody comes home, turns on their air conditioning, blah blah blah. There's something called peaker plants, and they charge enormous amounts of money, 30 cents, 40 cents per kilowatt hour. So it's like a 10x in terms of charging. All of a sudden, Tesla can now sell that energy for 30 cents or 40 cents or whatever the current
How
market
does the
rate is.
energy get from the mega pack to people's air conditioners?
What are you talking about? How does the energy get to your house right now? It's the same
The
thing.
grid. It's the
It's the
grid.
grid, dude.
Ah,
There's a
okay.
network of
I thought they
utilities.
put it on a pigeon and they send the pigeon and they.
Yeah, they drop electrons on your brain, okay, to your air conditioning. Do you still believe in the stork? So this thing just basically prints money. That's what it does. And it's for peak hours. And instead of having a gas peaker plant that you're going to build and it's going to take you 10 years to do this, you can deploy this in a matter of, I don't know, weeks. I think it's weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. So all of that regulation down the drain, because now you're not having environmentally toxic things pumped into the ground or done whatever with gas peaker plants. And you could dump one of these really fast, and Tesla does the whole thing. I think you can get them to do everything, basically lay the foundation, connect it all, put the Megapacks there. So they're basically just printing money with these things. This is the
How
stupidest,
much
easiest
money
thing
does
to
this thing
do.
make? How much do you know?
I don't remember the actual statistics. Maybe Chris
The-
remembers what they're making, but
Yeah, the margins were freaking phenomenal. I think it's like almost a 50% margin on this.
it's
And
very
if
high.
you
Yes.
and if you think about all the cost of lithium that's been dropping off, that's going to add to the profit margin as well. This is a great thing for Tesla, where I think a lot of people now are like, okay, we're starting to hit a wall with the premium that people pay for cars. So which means that, the newer customers are going to be lower margin. So now they have to do things at scale. But they're smart enough to know that, hey, there are other avenues where we can make high margin revenue and go into those businesses. So think of Tesla no longer as this company that's focused on just one singular thing, which is just transport. Now they're moving into other things. If you looked at
Well, let's
the
just say they're an
presentation,
energy company. Okay, it's not hard to
yeah,
say. Say it, Chris, with me. They're an energy company. Go ahead.
they're an energy infrastructure company. Just go
Okay,
there.
close enough.
So hold on, why are they doing this in Shanghai?
But let me ask you this: is Ford an energy company or an
No.
energy
No,
infrastructure play? Is GM? So
No, they're purely
hopefully,
cars. Yeah.
hopefully the narrative will switch at some point. That's obvious to every Tesla investor that's been here for a while, that this is an energy play. So the first part is the cars, the EVs. The second part, obviously, is solar. It's working itself out. But maybe the Megapacks and the grid solar and the grid energy is what's actually going to make them more than sort of residential solar, which they're going for. So we don't know if that's going to work out yet. Maybe it will. I think it will. But it's an energy company, and they just have EVs as one component of it.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with their new thing that they came up with. They originally had started this in their Gigafactory in Nevada, but they weren't producing nearly the amount enough because they have demand going all the way to like 2025. That's how crazy demand for this product was. So then they started building a factory in Lathrop, California, and they've been building there like crazy, and they're still not able to keep up with demand. So now they're like, okay, where can we go to make these things?
And that's why
China
you're
is
moving to
like the
China.
next best. Yeah, China is a great place. China, you can get a factory up, done within 6 months and be mass producing right away. And there's just so much demand out there for this product that Tesla just had to make a decision. And I think it's a good one. I think this is one of those things that's just going to add right to their bottom line. And a lot of people are not expecting to see 50% year over year growth in Tesla because they're going to look at the cars and say, well, look, they didn't sell as many cars. Because I know some people right now are on Twitter and the other place, they're looking at total car sales as the only benchmark and only measure of revenue growth. I'm like, y'all are not taking into account the other parts of Tesla, which are growing even faster right
The
now.
energy business is growing 800%, right?
This past year, something like that. And I'm glad you brought that up, Chris, because this last bit, when did it come out? Today, yesterday or something, that the car prices are dropping like several $1,000 for the Y, for the 3. So we'll see what Wall Street does tomorrow. But if it's tanking while they're growing their energy business, it's going to be interesting because there's opportunity there for the people who think it's a car company and for the people who know it's an energy company. So there's clear opportunity here happening. The lower it goes, obviously.
Yeah, same thing with that charging network. I'm just Homer Cuts put it in the chat. By having businesses, we typically try to just focus on the thing that makes them money. And that's like the thing that a lot of people are looking at. But, if you just look at, okay, Amazon, right? Amazon, if you looked at Amazon back in 2008 and all you saw was this e-commerce company that's losing money, you would have missed AWS completely because you would have realized that they have a set high margin business on the side that they're developing. And then that's happening sometimes like right now too. Like they don't understand that Amazon is actually becoming an e-commerce advertising juggernaut as well. So I think people sometimes, and companies do that too. Companies pigeonhole themselves into this perception that they're just focusing on one area when there could actually be focusing on multiple things. Based on the presentation I saw with what is he calling it? Something Plan 3. I forgot what it.
Master plan.
Master Plan 3. They're talking about heat pumps. They're talking about other parts of the general economy that could lead into other business segments for Tesla. So I think in the future, we could see Tesla being a giant conglomerated company that has its hands in all sorts of
what is the bear case for
things.
this mega pack? Or is there no bear case? Because as you're saying, there's so much demand. They just need to learn how to build even more and more and more of these.
Yeah, they just have to build them. I think they sold out till 2024, 2025. I don't know if it's changed.
Yeah.
What do you mean by sold out?
You can't buy it. That's it. If you want it right now, you can't have it. They're sold out.
Yeah.
What is that?
Like sold out of, but no one's buying the Megapack. They're buying energy from
somebody buys something in advance, right?
No, but I'm saying, what do you mean by sold out of Megapacks? Because they only have certain.
Okay, so imagine right now you're building a product, right? You order it. The wait time is 2 years to get the product.
When you mean order, you mean countries that are ordering it, right?
It's power.
Well,
it's energy
power
companies,
plants,
power plants and companies. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm going to show you something.
Like us can't buy a Megapack.
I'm gonna let me show you something. Let me share this real quick. I think I did this right.
Ready?
Are you sharing it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just taking a little bit of the Tesla thing. It's a long deck. We're not going to go through it, but they're saying we need 30 terawatts of renewable power. I assume that's annual production. I assume that's what they're going for, right? 30 terawatts of annual production of renewable energy. Okay. I'm going to give you the bull case for Tesla and Enphase and SolarEdge at the same time, if you want to take it or not. If you look at the current production of clean energy in terms of solar, you have solar voltaics, 74 gigawatts, right? Not terawatts, gigawatts. and you have US wind power at, so what does it say, 143 gigawatts of capacity. So add that together, you get around 250 gigawatts of clean energy, right? Somewhere around there. I mean, we could do the math, but now you look at the 30 terawatts, and if you just do a division, it's a division problem. You have 100x fold at some point that has to happen for clean energy. It's not only solar. I know there's other things that are happening. What is it? Hydro and whatever else is there, but a lot of it will be solar deployment.
And this
even
is to power
Tesla,
the whole world. This is to power what exactly?
I believe, yeah, all clean energy to transform the global economy from fossil fuel to oil, fossil fuel to renewables, basically. So we're talking about 100x increase in the power we need. 138x, actually, I did the math, which is insane to think about that. That there is a bull case there that Tesla is just in the beginning of this massive S curve. I think someone put that in the comments too, but Enphase is at the beginning of this massive S curve, and so is SolarEdge. I keep talking about them as well. That those companies will do well, it seems like, no matter what happens, just because there's 100x need for their product, right? So maybe
you could
should
justify a buy on Tesla and have nothing to do with the cars. Like, legitimately, you could say, fuck the cars. The energy business itself is worth a thesis for
it. Should be worth more than the car business, technically. If they do succeed at this, it's going to be kind of insane. So, and
what do you mean if? Well, why wouldn't they succeed? Because who's their competitor?
Well, look, I want to say if, because you want to always caveat it that we didn't know Apple in 2008 would blow everybody away and they would take over the smartphone thing. Like like 2008, very few people understood that. The same thing now, very few people understand that. So yes, I made a big bet that Tesla will win, but does it mean they have to? I would say no. But even if they don't win everything, right? Like Apple's winning 50% of the market. If Tesla wins 20% of this market, it's still such a massive market that I think we have our 10x's in Tesla. If even they do this energy business, and I'm talking about the market cap of the company, right?
Right.
So an Enphase at a $20 billion, $25 billion, if they win from 3% to 20% of this entire market over the next decade, 30 terawatts of energy is needed. They're making like peanuts right now.
Right.
By the way, someone said, does Chris own any Tesla? I have 10 Tesla calls that I bought really early, and yeah, I'm just riding them, loving them. Probably going to buy some more, actually, if the prices go down enough. Yeah,